कुछ ही क्षणों में हार्टफुलनेस के गाइड पूज्य दाजी और छत्तीसगढ़ के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी हमारे बीच उपस्थित होंगे। अतः सभी से निवेदन है कि उनके आगमन पर हम कोई भी डिस्टरबेंस क्रिएट ना करते हुए अपने स्थान पर बने रहेंगे। हम अपने स्थान पर बैठे रहेंगे और शांति बनाए रखेंगे। हम कुछ ही देर में ध्यान की प्रक्रिया शुरू करने वाले हैं। अतः सभी से निवेदन है कि प्लीज़ अपने मोबाइल फ़ोन्स को स्विच ऑफ मोड में रखें।
सभी से निवेदन है अपना मोबाइल से एक बार कृपया स्विच ऑफ कर दीजिए।
Most hearty welcome to Honorable Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Shri Vishnu Dev Sai जी, उनका पूरा स्टाफ, सबको प्रणाम। श्री रामचंद्र मिशन जो 1945 में एस्टेब्लिश हुआ है, वो तो पहले से ही एस्टेब्लिश होने से पहले 100 साल पहले उनकी शुरुआत हो चुकी थी उत्तर प्रदेश से। सिर्फ आध्यात्मिकता उनका मेन फीचर है, ध्यान सिखाते हैं। आप जब ध्यान करो तो इतना ही ख्याल करना है कि मेरे हृदय में ईश्वरीय प्रकाश ऑलरेडी मौजूद है ही, तो मुझे अनुभव करना है बस, मेरे विचारों से नहीं, नॉट बेस्ड ऑन माय इमेजिनेशंस बट द वे यू आर। तो शुरू करेंगे और वी डोंट हैव मच टाइम, तो व्हेन इट इज ओवर मैं दैट्स ऑल कहूँगा, दैट्स व्हेन यू स्लोली गेट अप। थैंक यू।
Please start meditation. That's all.
Welcome YI to Heartfulness Center Raipur. May I request Pankaj Somani, Learning Chair, to come on stage and take over.
Thank you, Dinesh Bhaiya. Ram Daaji sir. It is truly an honor and a moment of pride and joy for all of us, for all the young Indian members who have gathered here to witness the most prestigious, the most spiritual guru of the world, Daaji. So when we speak of leadership today, we often limit to corporations, organizations, and some parties. But there exists another kind of a leader, a leadership of the heart, of consciousness, of inner evolution, Daji. Daji is that rare kind of leader who brings together the timeless essence of ancient yogic wisdom and the practical demands of the 21st century. Daji is born in Gujarat, pursued pharmacy, and built a successful life in New York. But beyond the prescriptions and the practices, his heart was always drawn inward. His spiritual journey began in his youth when he was introduced to the practice of Raja Yoga meditation under the Sahaj Marg system. Today, Daji is the global guide of Heartfulness movement, which has touched millions across more than 160 countries. Heartfulness isn't just meditation, it is a way of life. It's about finding balance in chaos, stillness in motion, and purpose amidst distraction. So, without taking much more time of yours, I would like to invite our National Chair, Tarang Khurana, on the stage to please welcome Daaji and moderate today's session. Thank you.
Daaji is looking after Raipur chapter. Good evening, Daaji.
Good evening, brother.
Good evening. Daaji, the moment we walk into the ashram, not just Raipur, across the world, the first thing that strikes us is the greenery. Be it ashram here, be it the Kana Shantivanam in Hyderabad. To my friends who don't know, Kana Shantivanam is our headquarters of more than 1400 acres in Hyderabad, and it is one of the greenest places which you can ever imagine. We talk about climate consciousness. Aajkal everyone is aware ki the importance and the need to be climate conscious, to take actions towards it. Daji, to our young people today, as individuals, as community, how do you suggest that in our daily life we can start bringing about some of these changes so that for your granddaughter here, my niece here, we leave a better tomorrow?
Hello, Amaya. Okay. Most of all, welcome to YI, Young India. And it's such a great feeling to have such youth who are now getting exposed to heartfulness way. It's a way of life. Way of life that is guided by the heart. And whenever we are guided by the heart, we become extra sensitive to our conscience. Should I do this? Should I not? And at every juncture in life, we are always, and especially critical moments, what should I pursue? Should I introduce this product in the market or not? Should I invest money in this business? Should I take up this job? Whom to marry, etc. And when to have children, maybe after 2 years of marriage, or maybe 12 years of marriage. All these are heart-guided solutions. Questions as well as the solutions of the heart emerge. Whenever we follow the mind, it tricks you. It tricks you into fulfilling your own selfish desires. I will bypass that and give the straight answer. Unfortunately, people think that the heart is a big thing, it's an emotional thing. Maybe. But gather all the decisions that you have made so far in your life. And whenever you have gone against the heart and followed the mind, observe the consequences. And the good. From that only you can decide, I should follow my heart. Now, to get a clearer and clearer solutions from within the heart, the lens of your heart has to be clear and clean. How are you going to clean it? The glass cleaner? It's not possible. Our heart remains clouded with emotional baggage that we carry. And it is always from the past. So we are torn between ambitions, need, desires, and so many things in life. Does that mean I shouldn't have desires? No, that's not the call of yoga. Otherwise, even to have a desire for God can be a problem for one and all. See, the main thing that we have to understand that how do I get the right message from my heart? So, first thing first, create the purity in the heart. Yogic practices are there whereby we can clean our heart from the past impressions. Secondly, we should lead a life in such a way that we don't go on forming the impressions that can hinder our future. That means it's a defensive lifestyle. You must have learned how to have a driving, defensive driving. My Guruji used to say, drive as if samne wala bewkoof hai. So you will always be very careful. Same thing, we drive through the chaotic style of life by remaining very defensive. Not that you want to hurt anyone, we don't want to. There is no intention of doing such a thing. But it helps us sail through such complicated situations in life only when we follow the heart. See. When we meditate, like this, just now we did meditating on the presence of the divinity which is already there in our heart, we settle, we center ourselves, and we feel at peace. You can see the difference before you came here, before you meditated, and after you meditated. Unfortunately, I had to cut short the meditation because the CM, he had to leave early. But we recommend at least 40 minutes of meditation and see how you really feel. Often youngsters, they ask, can you give us a guideline or is there a guide book that can help us navigating through life? There are no guidebooks. How many things can you teach? I'm very fond of Osho's storytelling way of, describe very tough situations of life. And one of his story is on a thief. He was a master thief. His daughter was so mesmerized by this father who was a perfect thief. She wanted to follow his life. See? She said, Papa, I would like to become a perfect thief. And he, knowing his own life, he didn't want to teach her that trade of thieving. See? But she was desperate. All the time she could keep on bugging him. So he said, I will teach you. Let's wait for one day. And he said, they chose Amavasya, dark night, so no one can notice you. So he took her. Before that, he taught her one thing, which house to attack. So you see where there is frequency of people, is it a rich man's house or a poor man's house, things like that, see. Identify the house first. What time to get in, what time to jump out. All this was taught. Past midnight, they go into the house. Go to one chamber where there was this treasure chest. He breaks it open. Then tells his daughter, pick up the good stuff which is there, all the jewels from this chest. She hands him over. Father was mischievous. What he did was unbelievable. He closed the chest and locked it up from outside. So she was screaming and kicking with her legs over the chest and making so much of noise, so the entire house woke up. Father left the house before that. See. All the maids and servants came. They say, oh, we finally got her. She's inside the chest. They opened the chest and they were with the lantern. The maids, they came to see with the lantern. Due to presence of her mind, they blew it off. The flame was there that was giving the light. She just blew it. Everything became dark, and in that darkness, she escaped. And where there was a little well, she picked up a little boulder and threw that into the well, making them believe that she had fallen into that well. So maids and all servants, they thought she has died now. She is going to get drowned in the well. And she escapes that way. Reaching home, she gets upset with dad and said, why did you have to do that, dad? We had everything in our hands. You nearly got me killed. So father says, now you'll be a better thief than myself. I don't have to teach you anything. What is required is the presence of mind in every situation, you see. Because every situation throws a different curved ball on us. Have you played cricket? If you knew how to play only one style of ball, it was very easy. But every now and then there's a different ball, different speed, different spin, fast, bouncer, who knows? And life throws many curved balls on us. So meditative mind picks up the problems often before they arise. Meditation to me thus is a kind of vaccinating your mind against many situations. So I would highly recommend meditation. It's not only for God realization, but even to survive in this mundane world, it can help us at least attain deeper level of peace and comfort.
So, Master, when young people you mentioned, they often ask, is there a guidebook? Somehow we've realized, and this is a very personal question as well, that young people say that our time is now. You know, they are very energetic. But somehow when it comes to spirituality or meditation, they say the time for that will come later. How do we bridge this walk? How do we come sooner to the side of spirituality, and why is it important that we do? And this is very personal. Just your thoughts on it.
To me, spiritual journey should begin at the very moment of conception. When that moment is lost because of parents, we have to wait until you turn 15. Now you guess for a moment you are retired and you are 68, 70 years old. Would you be able to meditate? Can you sit? You have already at such a young age taken up a chair. Imagine yourself at 60 plus. Would you be able to sit even in the chair properly with your back properly erect? When you cannot even remember things, how would you remember your continuity of spiritual experiences which are so refined? So I would not recommend to postpone the most essential thing. Now think of it in a scientific way. Genetically pre-exposed spiritual man and his progeny, or a woman, her progeny. If you become spiritualized at the age of 70, how can you transfer your genetic pre-exposure to your next generation? Think about it. If you want to transmit your spiritual bent of mind to the future generation, you better be spiritual even before you get married. So that is one thing you have to understand. Nowadays, there is a trend of getting married later and later and later. Imagine what really, really happens to your genetic chromosomes. As we age, they tend to become weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And you see many people having conception problems, mental problems of children being born to parents who are 30 plus. Moreover, to adjust with each other, having your neurons hardwired means you both are in a certain habitual rut. To adjust with each other will be even more difficult. Though you may be friend in the beginning, but that very friendship that attracted, please don't delay it. I have also shared this with one of my friend's daughter. She came to visit us sometime in 2012. At that time, she was 28 years of age or so. So I said, Beta, when are you getting married? You know, as usual, we ask such questions to children. She says, Uncle, I'll get married when I'm 30 plus, 32 or 33. I said, wonderful. Then I asked her, who is the best person in your family whom you like the most? Like Amaya, I asked. She said, my grandma. Then I had the opportunity of teasing her. When you marry at 32, will your child see her grandma? And will your grandma be able to talk to her the way your grandma did with you, or play with you, or share stories with you? She started calculating that when I am 32 and have my children by 36, my mother would be 75 plus, and who knows, she may not be there at all. And even if she is there, think of a father at 75. Would he be able to play cricket or volleyball with grandchildren? And when grandparents are not able to interact with grandchildren, what happens? The bridge that connects them is lost. Parents do not have much time, nor they have patience to interact with children the way grandparents can. Think of Amazon forests where there are medicine men, elderly folks. Because of this trend, especially in Brazil, Amazonian forests, a lot of youngsters are migrating to cities. Old people, elderly generations, where they have so much of knowledge of medicinal plants, trees, herbs, minerals, water system, plants and animals, birds. They have collected that knowledge for thousands of years. Now, in the absence of these next generations who are now migrating to cities, how can they transfer that knowledge? That connecting bridges are being broken. Transfer knowledge is not happening. Same thing is happening in our society. Without grandparents, simply bypassing, children are left to learn whatever they can, anything from anyone, not from parents. Grandparents are not there around. So naturally, you can imagine the status of the society. And this is indirectly connected by choosing our marriageable age.
Master, when we talk about religion and spirituality, you recently also wrote an article on the relevance of the Bhagavad Gita. we continue to realize that religion and spirituality don't just coexist, they're codependent. Both of them come together to form a very, very strong bond. Can you just shed some light on that for all of us?
To me, religion is a kind of a jail. Same thing, spirituality. If you allow the limits of spirituality bind you, the way most people are bound by religion. Let me explain to you. When you believe in God, say I believe in Lord Rama, for example, or I believe in Lord Krishna, or I believe in Ma Durga, or I believe in Islam, or I believe in Christianity, or I believe in Sikhism. These are all indoctrinations by our parents with good intentions. They teach us fundamentally one thing, that there is God, and they help us associate God based on their learnings from their parents. And when we ask grandparents and say, why Krishna? Why should I worship Krishna? Why should I worship Rama? Then they say, oh, this has been our family tradition. This is our family guru or family ma or family deity. So with that, we begin with the belief and we remain, unfortunately, satisfied superficially with such belief system. And you say, God is there? Yes. Have you experienced it? No. This will be the general answer. Now, when you dig deeper and go beyond religion into spirituality, where you wait for the experience of divinity. So now your belief that I believe in God is now being strengthened by your experience. You're no longer in a simple belief, but your belief system is now supplemented with your own conviction. It's like, earlier we used to have the gold backing for the currencies. Stronger the currency means they have a large amount of gold that is backing up the strength of the currency. Same thing, our belief will get its own strength and life from our own experience. That experiencing its spirituality. But to remain tied with these experiences and say, oh, I'm so fortunate and I'm experiencing this, that's also a tragedy because you're stuck with experiences. It's like when I come to you and enjoy your hospitality for 3 months, 4 months at Corona family. Wow. And then I say, this gentleman is great. He's very generous. Hospitality is great. I'm able to enjoy this. But deep down in my heart, I would say, I wish I was also as rich, as wealthy as this person. So, experiencing rich hospitality versus becoming rich. Like that, divine experiences are great. But to become divine, it's a different story. So, there is a gradual graduation from being in a religion where there is belief to experiencing in spirituality and going beyond that into becoming, that is reality. And then when we transcend even that, there will be bliss. And that too also ends, according to my master, where you are not able to say which experience or what. Because now you become one with, it's like when the raindrops falls in the ocean, that raindrop is not left behind to say what See how I have become the ocean. If the raindrop falls in the ocean and still says, I am a raindrop experiencing the ocean, there's something wrong. If a person says, I am a God realized person, run away. Because that awareness, that consciousness will not agree with you to make such a statement.
Master, in your recent book, Power of Paradoxes, uh, discipline versus freedom, stability and flexibility, in all of our lives, contradictions are a part of it. They're sometimes key defining factors. सब आप बताते हैं कि contradictions are not barriers, but actually enablers of transformation. How so? How do we adopt that in our young minds?
Well, let's take this example of discipline and paradoxically opposite thing, freedom. We think that the life of liberation is full of liberty, or the life of marriage is full of liberty. It is not. Freedom to my master meant only one thing. Freedom, you have only one freedom, freedom to do what is right. As we advance in spirituality, you are moving more and more towards liberation. There is a superficial idea that you will become more free. But no, every movement, every thought will be streamlined into one productive way. It will not be like a monkey mind jumping everywhere. Let me give you one example. Let's see, if I have to walk, I can walk anywhere. I'm free to walk anywhere. If I have a bicycle, I'm moving faster, but I have some level of limitation. If I'm on a scooter versus if I'm on a car, okay. Now you see the difference. Now let us see if I am in a flight and I'm a pilot. My navigation route is already fixed. Though sky is the limit. I can go anywhere you think, but no, you can't. Rocket, if you are within that, let's say you are a space traveler, then you are seated on one chair in a particular position. Your waking time, your sleep time, your movements, your food, everything are restricted. Higher you go with your movements, or higher you go within your consciousness, you are further and further restricted. See? But there is a beauty to it, see. It's not that you don't have freedom, you have all the freedom in the world, but only one freedom, that at this moment I have to do only this, nothing else. So it is paradoxical that spiritually advanced person or a person whose kundalini is awakened can do anything. No. If you try to do and try to enjoy the freedom, then you will become like Ravan. You know, many people they say, can you awaken the kundalini? They used to ask such questions to my master, Babuji Maharaj. And he said, Bhai, देखो, रावण की कुंडलिनी अवेकन थी, जागृत थी, राम की भी थी, आप नक्की करो. Okay.
I have one last question, but before that, my friends also have a question or two. Can we just take one from them? One from Pankaj.
यही थे दो माइक.
Pranam Daji. Daji, what is the difference between meditation and manifestation? और आज के ज़माने में मैनिफेस्टेशन बहुत चलन में है, पिछले कई वर्षों से देख रहे हैं कि मैनिफेस्टेशन डेफिनेटली उससे भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें, बट एक प्योर डिफरेंस क्या है दाजी और हमारे जैसे नवयुवक को? थैंक यू.
Well, this is a new age stuff. When you think and it shall happen. It's not that simple. Suppose you want to marry someone. Will it matter? There are so many hurdles. If you are born in a girl, God help. There are many, even spiritual people, they will say, oh no, you cannot marry the other woman as if she comes from Mars. Just because she is born in Brahmin family or Banya belong to Agarwal family of India. Caste system has ruined and politicians are thoroughly. My eye will help people to go beyond this caste system. Is a product. When your mind becomes super, whatsoever you think will manifest. But you will not think whatsoever. You will use your freedom to what is right. You don't have the liberty of making things manifest. For example, can I create a peacock in my... Though you have a streamlined purity within you, cannot do it. Something is against nature. So meditation is a process to bring a mind to a certain level of consciousness. And under certain circumstances, it can help meditation. Like concentration of the mind is a product of meditation. Your intentions in meditation makes things manifest, especially spiritual things. Suppose you desire to have develop consciousness, it can manifest. But suppose if you're owner of so and so company, then you have to correct your thinking. There's too much discussion on this theory in the Western world. Yeah, you think, follow this, or you want to marry can happen. Not in India, but not even in the West. It's not so simple to make things manifest. When you talk spirituality and when you think of intentions of Krishna to destroy adharma, for which he says, I
Admirer of Swami Vivekanand. And, over a century ago, he was also in Raipur. And he's always spoken about the power of the youth and how the youth should rise and shine. Now, just on a closing note, not only for young Indians in the audience today, but millions who are possibly watching the live stream and will take that message forward. What is one lasting thought that you want all of us not to follow, but to actually adopt and imbibe in our lives completely. To the youth of the India from Daaji, one thought that we should absolutely imbibe in our lives.
Pause. Pause whenever you can. Thank you.
Thank you, Master, for all your time, for all your graces, and for all the love that you shower not just on all of us here, but millions across the world. It is my heartfelt honor to have shared the stage with you. It is one of the most powerful experiences of my life, and I'm indebted to you for that. Thank you so much. Yeah. Pankaj? Yeah.
It has truly been a wonderful session, Daji. Thank you so much for your invaluable talks. I'm sure today's session takeaway will definitely be with us. We'll execute, we'll implement that in our daily lives. I, Pankaj Sumani, once again, thank you so much. I mean, I thank you from on behalf of the entire Young Indian family from Raipur. And I also thank a sincere gratitude to our founder chair, Dinesh Bhaiya Agarwal, the one person, I mean, yesterday itself, he actually announced for this session, and we are so grateful to him, allowing all the Young Indian members to witness you today. I also thank our national chair, Tarang Khurana, for moderating so beautifully. And I appreciate your time. You had to reschedule your routine today. And last but not the least, to the entire fraternity, to the entire group present here, thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience. Thank you so much. I just one last minute, Daji. I'll take a moment to give a token of love from Young Indians to Daji. May I please invite Anuja, our past chair, our founder chair, Dinesh Bhaiya, and our national chair is already on the stage. Yeah. This is the speciality of Chhattisgarh Daji from Bastar origin. Uh, I would like to invite all my young Indian members on the stage for a group picture, please.